Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you got your coffees ready because this is going to be a big day here on our homestead. It is the day we have all been waiting for. Our shed to house is being delivered. As you can see behind me, the footers are all in. They are beautiful looking. If you have not seen that video, make sure to go watch our shed to house playlist where you can find how we did these footers and how we prepared for our shed to house to come. Now if you're near around here, hi, welcome. My name is Megan.
My name is Declan.
And the man you see wandering around here is my husband, Kenneth. We are off-grid homesteaders in South Carolina, where we have lived in that camper over there for 3 years. Now only 1.5 of those years we have been in South Carolina. The rest of it we traveled the United States looking for our homestead, and we settled down in beautiful South Carolina. We're about an hour and a half inland from the coast, so we're, you know, I don't know, not in the middle of South Carolina. We're like East Coast, Northeast Coast. We love it here. So the one downside is it rained yesterday. The ground is wet and the dirt is mud, and they have to bring in a very large shed. It is 16 by 60. We did not go small. You will have to watch the video where I tape out our floor plan. Literally going to use tape to lay out our floor plan for y'all inside the house to see how much of that 16 by 60 is my kitchen. That's how we're going there. So now all we do is drink our coffee and wait for them to show up. They're supposed to be here at about 8 o'clock and it is 7:56. Almost there.
Mama.
It took them about another 45 minutes to get here, so they showed up at about 8:30, which was great. They texted us when they were on their way to let us know they were coming. They communicated very well, so we knew what to expect and when to expect them. I was super pleased with this company. Now, one thing about our building, it is a 16 by 60, and we ordered it through Premier Portable Buildings. If you go on their website, they have a shed designer. The biggest it's going to let you design is a 16 by 40. If you read their frequently asked questions, it will tell you the biggest they can build is a 16 by 50. However, if you call your local shed dealer, you may have the bigger option like we did to go to a 16 by 60. Some shed dealers will build your shed on site to give you the bigger option if they don't have a trailer big enough to deliver it to you, and then others have a trailer big enough and maybe other locations don't, so it's just not listed on the website because that website covers the entire United States. It's not limited to your local area. So on the website it's very general, very non-specific. Call your local shed dealer to find out if you can get a shed built this big or not. One common question we get asked when people see our shed is, where are the windows? And so my answer to you is they're not installed yet. When we ordered our custom shed, all I wanted them to do was to put in the main door because you have to have a way in and out. That's it. Everything else I wanted us to do. That gave me the opportunity to get into the shed, fill out the space, line up my rooms how I wanted them, and then place the windows where I wanted them. This kept any mistakes from occurring where maybe they put the window in the wrong place or I changed my mind when I got to see the shed in person and wanted to change things up a little bit, which I'm super glad I went this route, because we will tape out the shed in the next video, where I literally will tape out the floor plan, and you will see that things didn't always line up the way I wanted them to. So it worked out really well. If you have the ability to do the windows yourself, I recommend going this way, because you know that the windows are where you want them to be and that it matches the floor plan the way you want it to. This is going to be your house. If it's not going to be a temporary structure, then you want something that is going to make you happy in the long run. And so just by being able to see it, get a feel for the space, you can make sure you put the windows where they need to be. Now, these guys who come out and delivered our shed to house did a fantastic job. They were able to get this thing through some tight spaces. They had me holding my breath, thinking they were going to run it into one of our ditches, but they handled each obstacle with ease. You didn't see them break a sweat. They just looked at the problem, figured out how to solve it, and got on with the job. I love that they brought people to stop traffic for them. We do live off of a major highway through here, and people are constantly traveling down it. So the fact that they brought people to stop traffic made it safer, made it easier on everyone involved. Now, on each side of our road are some pretty deep ditches. We're talking like 4 feet deep ditches, and they're wide. So how he got this thing turned around on this little 2-lane road, I have no idea. But he worked around our ditches. He worked around the culvert. He did not tear anything up, which I was super impressed with. Even though he came very close to hitting my mailbox, he managed not to do so. So I was very impressed. This is the biggest shed they have ever delivered with this company. Ours is the first that they've ever done that's 60 foot long. They had just bought a new trailer that was 60 foot long, and so we were the first one to order after they did that trailer upgrade. So we were the first one that they had the experience of delivering a shed this big. And I was super happy with the job that they did. They did a fantastic job. Now, our shed is a 16 by 60. We purchased it through Premier Portable Buildings, but Premier Portable Buildings does not do the delivering. They contracted out to this building delivery service.
Whiskey finally caught up to him, took the life right out of him. We were cracking jokes in the hospital room when the doctor said there was nothing he could do. And I was mad as hell, cause he did it all to himself. And I spent more time judging instead of loving. Now I'm wishing I could get the time back, but time doesn't work like that. So love her while you can, 'cause life's too short not to give a damn. Love her while you can, 'cause you might not get a second chance to call up your mama, make sure she's okay, check on an old friend, 'cause life can get crazy. No one knows when the good Lord will take him by the hand. So love her while you can. Life had finally caught up to her. Second time around, cancer coming back to her. She was 16, the sweetest thing. Straight A's, just made it on the softball team. Her mama never left her side. Her daddy, he was always working overtime. Too busy making money instead of making memories. Man, he's wishing he could get the time back. Oh, but time doesn't work like that. So love her while you can, 'cause life's too short not to give a damn. Love her while you can, 'cause you might not get a second chance to tuck in your another second go by. You gotta love 'em while you can. 'Cause life's too short not to give a damn. Love 'em while you can. 'Cause you might not get a second chance to call up your mama, make sure she's okay. Check on your friends, 'cause this life will get crazy. No one knows when the good Lord will take 'em by the hand. So just take 'em by the hand. Love 'em while you can.
So one issue we have discussed with the people who built the shed is our footers are not in the correct location. So when they built the shed, they did their skids on the ends 6 inches inwards, and then they did 2 skids in the center instead of just 1. So ours were set up for 3 main skids, 1 on each end and 1 in the middle, because he said they do them every 6 to 8 feet. However, that is not what they have done. And so our footers don't line up. We were warned about this a few days in advance. So now we are going to try to figure out how to make that work. I like your Jackson technique. Just jump on it. So our solution to the footer problem, we had purchased treated lumber 4x4s that we were going to run crossways so that each footer had its own 4x4. It spanned the whole length of the shed and it would sit on that. After talking to the gentleman who delivered the shed, what they come up with and what we come up with instead is to take those 4x4s and just create an additional skid that went down the center of the shed. So they had the tools to actually attach the skid to the shed and to bolt it in. And so what they did is they just ran one down the center that lined up with our footers. So it technically now has 5 skids under it. 3 are being supported by our footers. The other 2 are currently unsupported, but we are able to go in and add more blocks and block it up and just add additional support under our shed because of this. These guys were super, super helpful when they did this. Now, one thing people don't talk about a whole lot is when you have your shed delivered, not all companies set it up for free. The company that this Premier Portable Buildings uses will set up the first layer for free. You supply the blocks. If they supply it, they're going to set it up on chunks of wood. They're not going to set it up on concrete blocks. So if you want it on concrete, you have to supply that. They will do the first layer for free as part of your delivery. Any additional layer they charge for. So working with the company, we were supplying all of our own blocks. We did all our own footers, made sure it was level and stuff like that. So that kind of made their job a little easier. So instead what they opted for was to give us 2 layers for free. Since we had done the majority of the work, they would set up 2 layers for free. And then they charged us for the 3rd layer, which is the cap block, and for installing that center skid that we needed to meet our footers. And so we paid $250 for that setup part. So that was what was additional to our shed on delivery day. So we had paid the other half of our shed because we paid half up front, half on delivery. And then we paid $250 to the delivery service for setting up the shed and attaching this 3rd skid so that it lined up with our footers again. So our current cost total, I really enjoy doing these with each of our videos. It helps me keep track of what we are spending and where we are in the budget. Currently, up to date, we have spent $28,945 on our shed, doing the footers and all of the tools that we have needed up until this point. For this today, we have the cement block. So these are the 2 stacks of the cement block, and the cap block cost us $220. The 4x4s that we used for the skids were $100. And then the setup charge is $250. So currently our grand total comes out to be $29,515. Okay, stay real still, okay?
Why is everyone laughing? Hammer, crack, drill.
A click beetle.
A click beetle?
A click beetle.
That is the click beetle.
What?
A click
Hey, it's called click.
That's all I have for you today, friends. Thank you for joining me and watching our house be delivered. I am excited for the journey that is to come, and I look forward to sharing this with you.